live with another episode of BS Busters. We're joined by Kenoshi Abominito, Pinky Don, and eventually, hopefully, Jewel Rider Moonstar. But since she's not here, I guess we'll have the gentleman who wasn't here last time introduce himself, then Pinky, then myself, and then we'll dive right into it. Kenoshi?
My name is Kenoshi Abominito, here to be on another one of these BS Busters.
That's right. Kenoshi?
Hello?
Or not Kenoshi.
You've already.
Oh,
Pinky, sorry. Losing my
This is
mind.
Piggy Dog. This is Piggy Dog from Video Game Editorials, and happy early Halloween to you all.
Yeah. I picked up my costume from the costume shop. I'm going as Jules from Pulp Fiction. I got like a bad Jerry curl wig and the fake top gun, black suit with the tie. It's gonna be awesome. I've been working on my motherfuckers. It's great. And of course, me, Mr. Red Fox, and dive into it. So, basically, we're talking about the quote-unquote scariest moments that we've had in video games. These are like things where you're like, man, that's just kind of creepy, you know, or man, that kind of scared you. So, we're going to do it chronologically, like the earliest scary moments in video games, or just things that happened recently, whatever. The sky's the limit. So who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right.
Chronologically, it will have to be Super Mario 64 with the eel, and the killer piano.
Yeah, that eel.
Mostly the eel.
Really? Because for me, it was the piano. Because you just didn't expect for that piano to be haunted and start trying. And you can't kill that piano either. It's invincible. You're like, what type of bull? I can butt stomp all these motherfuckers, but apparently a piano is off limits.
Yeah, that was actually pretty scary.
Yeah.
The first time up to the piano.
Yeah, that fucking piano. Fuck that piano. Even now, I'm like, man, fuck that piano.
Yeah.
But really, the first scary moment I had in video games was when I was playing Super Mario World for the SNES. And I was doing pretty well up until that third phase of Bowser's boss fight, where his clown car turns evil and starts trying to squash your ass. I was like, man, fuck this. That was the moment where I was like, you know what, this game, I love this game, but this is bullshit right here. Because the first two parts of that boss fight, you're like, yeah, man, I can handle this. And then that third part where the Jizz just says, Bugs, fuck it, and starts trying to squash your ass. And if your gaming skills aren't up to snuff, because at this point you've never really moved that fast, dodging shit at that point in the game. You are at this point. But yeah, that was the first time where I was like, man, fuck this shit. So, Kenoshi, you have one?
Scary moment in video game. Not really. I wouldn't say, well, I guess maybe the scariest moments would maybe be involved when you're fighting a boss fight that you've fought over and over again, and you finally get to the last inch of their health, and you think you're gonna die. Yeah.
I can understand that. I got one that always got me kind of hyped up in games. I really hate this when this happens, but it happens it happens in the 6th gen a lot, the 5th and 6th gen a lot. When you play a game, when you rent it, like the 5th gen especially, when you rented a game and it required a memory card, they didn't have a memory card, so you just had to leave your system on. But
And beg your lucky stars that you actually made it through the game without any bad luck. Because if somebody turned the power off or there's a power outage,
well, I mean, when I was at the end of the 5th gen, when I first got my N64, I didn't have my own TV, so I had to share my fucking TV with my parents. Well, it wasn't my TV; it was the house TV. So they would turn shit off, and I'm like, fuck. I got my own TV like 2 years later, and I was like, oh, thank God. And I could leave my shit on as much as I wanted to, and no one gave a shit. But my parents, oh God, those motherfuckers. They would turn the shit off before I got a memory card. I remember the Quest 64. The Quest 64 required a memory card. Like you.
oh, you poor soul, because you all know what happens with RPGs, and, well, lost progress.
Well, the thing is, Quest 64 wasn't even a good game. I mean, I appreciate what it was going for, but it wasn't a very good RPG. But it's like for some reason I have to beat it, and then it's like you get to a point in the game where you can't beat it. So I mean, the first time I beat that game, I beat that game in a single sitting over a holiday weekend, and it was insane. But yeah, I'll tell you something that's legitimately scary. Even now, I'm still kind of weirded out. I'm not a huge fan of. Well, this kind of it's not really scary. It's just creepy. Metroid Prime Corruption
Mm-hmm.
and discovering what the Leviathan parasites were, like how because in Metroid Prime Corruption, you're spending all this time trying to prevent these Leviathan parasites from taking over these planets. It's like, I mean, I don't know what the big deal is. I mean, but what would happen if a planet, if you let this infection, this parasite, just run rampant, and then you go to the Pyritone planet? It's like, fuck. It's a good thing. It's a good thing I killed those shit. Is Jesus some fucked up shit right there? Seeing the few pirates, space pirates that were like knocked down with, infestation being hunted down and murdered. Man, this is kind of fucked up. And finally getting to Planet Fade at the end of that game, and like seeing that this has been using in game of a living organism. Terrifying.
Uneasing.
Easy. It's like, and it's an earned scare. It's like, God damn. It's kind of like if you were watching The Outer Limits or The Twilight Zone, where it's not a jump scare. Every single fucked up thing that happened is an earned event, which I love. Jump scares are cheap, but when you earn that makes it awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you just found out about this, and it's right after you realize you've been wallowing in it for half or most of the game.
And you've been using it too. You've been using this phase-on. You've been using it and seeing how Darkstanders has just been corrupting and absorbing the powers of these various other playable characters. It's kind of interesting. But I like it. But but yeah, I thought that was legitimately scary. I think that I mean, a lot of people always like to say Resident Evil. I never found Resident Evil to be a scary game to me. I know some people are going to get mad when they hear that because, reasons, but I'm not impressed with it. I just Resident Evil was never scary to me because it's just fucking zombies, you know. Like how many zombies can you have? Like maybe okay. Like even the start of the zombie genre, like the popularization with George Romero and Dawn of the Dead, like the reason that movie is scary is not because of zombies. It's that this black guy is the main character. He saves a lot of people, and then at the end of the movie, he's fucking murdered by rednecks because they could. That's terrifying. The rednecks are fucking terrifying. Rednecks, racist ass rednecks with guns. That's terrifying right there. Yeah, not really. Yeah. I mean, really, like, you have to realize that, like, it's just. I think the problem is that people keep on trying to make realistic zombies. They're like, well, we got to make them fast and run. It's like, man, that's not. The whole point about a zombie is that they are driven by a need to feed, and that's it. Like they will not stop. They will not stop until they have fed. And here's the thing: their need to feed will never be filled because they're dead. They don't really need to feed, but they have this preternatural necessity to feed. Um, so you know, but but yeah, I never found Resident Evil to be scary. I know some people do. They're like, I like Resident Evil. I'm not saying that you're dislike. I mean, the scariest part of Resident Evil, especially Resident Evil 1 and 2, was those shitty ass controls. That's and that bad camera. That was the Nemesis, yeah. Which I mean, like even that wasn't really scary because it's just like okay, you've created an enemy that because at the end of the game you get the rocket launcher and you can shoot the you can shoot Nemesis with the rocket launcher and take it out. It's like I'm not really with Resident Evil 3. Resident Evil 4, um, I mean the scary part about Resident Evil 4 is just like the fucked up shit that happens. It's not really the game itself, and whatever. I'm just not really. I mean, that's where Resident Evil kind of went off the rails. That they stopped being really scary. It just became, even though they never were really scary, but they stopped trying to basically have fucked up shit happening. Because at a certain point, you can't. There's only so much shit you can do. But it is what it is. Those of you listening, if you could put in the chat any scary things that have happened in games, and we can all commiserate on it. It'll be awesome. Or not, your choice. Um, those are just nerve wracking. That's not even scary. It's just like, really? That's what you're gonna do? Yeah, escort missions. Yeah, I'll tell you. I'll tell you that was a. I'll tell you what was a motherfucker. That escort mission in GoldenEye 64, we have to escort Natalia. That was some bullshit. That's still some bullshit even now. Where she was a fucking bullet sponge, she would run it. I swear to God, if a character turned away from her and shot towards a wall, she would run in front of the bullet so she could get shot. Yeah, or you're escorting someone who walks really, really slowly. Like really, really fucking slowly. you know, Let me walk as slowly as humanly possible because that's fun. And like, I mean, here's the thing: you can move so much faster than the characters. Like, why can't we ever have an escort mission where people are saying we have to get there immediately, but they're walking at a set its pace? I'm like, man, this place is gonna explode. Why are you walking so goddamn slow? Unless you're an old person or you're injured, okay, it makes sense. But if you're an able-bodied person and you're yeah. It's like we got to do it, and we got to do it by hand because we don't have redundancies in the system in case this one system fails. You know, it's like what the fuck, man. Yeah, yeah, that happens rarely. But yeah, those are. Anyone else have any other nerve wracking, annoying things in video games? I played a little bit of it. This is unnecessary bullshit, is what you're saying. Yeah, I can understand that. Oh yeah, that is a bad game. That is a really, and you know what the sad thing is? It's from Atari, and Atari made some really good 2D Dragon Ball Z games, but Dragon Ball Legacy is trash. Or you mean Dragon Ball Legacy? That's the no. Legend of Goku's the one that's made by Monolith Soft. That's like kind of like Legend of Zelda, a top-down Legend of Zelda game where you're beating up. The first one's not that good. The second one, Legacy of Goku 2, is pretty good. The first one's not that good. They had to perfect the system. Yeah. No, I can understand that. It's not, you know. Let's see. Trinell83, a part that creeped me out was in Metroid Prime 1. As soon as I got the thermal visor, the room blacked out, and then the Metroid broke out of the tube. Yeah, I could. Like, the entire Metroid Prime series is filled with, like, man, that's fucked up. Like, you know the most terrifying thing about the Met. No, yeah, I'll tell you the most terrifying thing about the Metroid Prime series is finding out just how fucked up Samus Aran is. That's really the scariest thing, because like Samus Aran is a person who like she's clinically
Insane.
yeah, she's clinically insane. She's insane.
I'm surprised.
You know, she's completely batshit insane.
Yeah. And she has every right to be in a sense.
I am,
I
but
mean,
she's spared the baby Metroid.
And she's also, yeah, that like the one time she spared a species, because every other time in the Prime series she has committed genocide on a planetary scale. Like in the first game, she just wipes out like all. Well, in the first game, she doesn't wipe out do genocide on a planetary scale. But in Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, she wipes out an entire planet. Now I know the Ing kind of suck, but I mean, there's also look. Not every Ing could be evil. I mean, you had little baby Ing that were just not bothering anybody. They were just floating around. They died too. She committed genocide on a planetary scale. Metroid Prime 3, genocide on a. She destroys an entire planet. I mean, not by herself, but she enables it to happen. I mean, god damn. You know, just. And then don't get me started with her genocide of the Metroids. Yeah, with her genocide of the Metroids. Like, Samus is a war criminal. But, you know, what do I know? I'm just some guy, you know. And I love Metroid. Like, it's one of my favorite games. And I love Metroid Prime. I think Metroid Prime is one of the best. I think Metroid Prime, like no one will ever admit just how much Metroid Prime really changed the game and how certain games were made. If you get my drift, you know what I mean? Like, even now, so many games are like, everyone was like, man, Doom 2016 is revolutionary. It's just fucking Metroid Prime, but rated M. Like, literally, it's just Metroid Prime. Like, I don't.
Yeah. I remember when I first played this. It's like, this feels a lot like a faster, gorier version of Metroid Prime.
It's like, you basically took Samus Aran, you made the character just, instead of the veneer of, well, I'm trying to save the universe and get a little revenge on the side, to just being a psychotic son of a bitch with a dick, and that's the Doom guy. That's literally what it is. It's Metroid Prime. You enter into an area. It's like, oh man, this looks like this is gonna be an arena with a lot of enemies. Oh, the door is just locked behind me. Okay, yeah, this is Metroid Prime. You know, it's a faster paced Metroid Prime. That's all it is. And even other games are starting to take cues from Metroid Prime and Metroid Prime 2 and Metroid Prime 3. Personally, it doesn't bother me. I like that game design. I like Metroid Prime. I think that it's a delightfully good game. Good series. It's a shame that each successive series sold worse than the last one, but
These fake Metroid fans talking about, oh, I'm a fan of Metroid.
like, they only played one damn game. Yeah, it's like, I'm a fan. It's like, shut the fuck up. Pardon me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. Yeah, I just, you know, I find it hilarious. You know, I really do find it hilarious how they do that. But I'll tell you a game that was kind of scary. Shadow Man. To me.
Now, man, I think that's way back in the PlayStation 2 era.
It was a 5th gen game, but I love it. And I love it because it's like, the horror is, it's like a gothic horror game. It has a black protagonist, which I love, because so many games just, you know, like, the main character is just some white guy, which, I mean, I get tired of playing games.
Want more flavors than just vanilla, right?
Well, because I'm not white. I don't want to play a game where the main character is always just a white guy. Now, with Japanese games, you know, it's a fantasy world, so I'll let them get away. But if you're making a realistic game, like, and there's like no black people around, I'm like, man, fuck this. As a matter of fact, very few people of color. I'm like, you do realize that, numerically speaking, there's more people of color on planet Earth than there are white people, right?
It makes you wonder where they get their resources from.
So, you know, technically, if there was an apocalypse-like scenario, there'd be more people of color than just white people, right? You know?
Yep.
Just from, you know, a numerical standpoint. That's the thing that bothers me. Look, I understand that, you know, it's like when you watch sci-fi movies and, like, everyone's always white, you know. You know, we're going to the moon and it's just a lot of white people. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Like there are no black scientists, you know.
Blame it on the time
That's why I like Star Trek.
when those movies came out.
That's why I like Star Trek, because Star Trek always had black people in it. There was always people of color in Star Trek, even from the beginning.
So hope they're not a certain shirt. Otherwise, well.
Uhura had a red shirt. She was the communications officer. Even in the beginning, she was in red and she looked damn good. Nichelle Nichols looked damn good in her red outfit. And then you had like the Next Generation, where you had like black captains, and it was like nothing. Yeah, there's a black captain of the sister ship to the Enterprise. It's like, how's it going? And then you had like Deep Space Nine, where really my favorite Star Trek captain is Benjamin Sisko, and Benjamin Sisko, black guy, and a strong black man too. Like his wife died, he raised his son. His son won the fuck up, you know, you know. You know, like a strong who did what he had to do to win a war, fought dirty when he had to. Like every other Starfleet captain who ran into Q were always like, "Oh, don't do anything. They're a superior species." Q fucked with Benjamin Sisko. He knocked that motherfucker out. One punch. He punched a god. That's a bad motherfucker. Yeah, he did. So yeah. But then yeah, and knew about his capabilities. He's like, look, he's like, you can't. Picard never hit me. He's like, I'm not Picard. And Q didn't fuck with him after that either. See, look, they could have solved all this Q shit if they'd have knocked him on his ass years ago. But the Federation, nah, we can't do that.
It makes me wonder how much of a restriction do the people at the higher ups have on those captains, because some of those captains have some decent nerve, and yet they lose it all when it comes to this issue.
Well, when you're dealing with a creature that can literally change the orbits of planets, move back and forth in time, create something from nothing, you don't want to start any shit,
His point, if anything, is start planetary incident, among other things.
Which tells you what type of balls the man had. Like, here's how ballsy and how strong Benjamin Sisko's game is, right? The woman that he winds up having a second child with, Cassidy Yates, turns out to be a minor supply person for the rebellion in the lore of that particular thing. And basically, like, this dude just fucking this dude fucking has to put her in jail. When she gets out, she comes back and they get back together. Like, do you know how strong your game has to be where you have to throw your girlfriend in jail and she comes back after she gets out? Do you know how strong your game has to be, son? I mean, this man's game is insane. But that's neither here nor there. Anyone have any other scary things they wanna go over? Let's see.
Sanity's Requiem.
What?
I said Sanity's Requiem.
I can barely hear you. What? Jewel?
I said Sanity's Requiem.
Sanity's. You mean Eternal Darkness?
Yep.
I mean.
For me, it's more of a psychological nightmare.
Yeah, that game just kind of fucked with you. I don't. It wasn't really scary. It was just fucking with you.
What's going on? Like, it's messing with things that usually are not in the game, and it makes you wonder, like, are you really using it, or is that part of the game?
I know the game just.
Not part of the. That's not part of the game. I mean, it feels like just part of the
the game just kind of made me go, like the game just kind of fucked with you. To me, it just was like, man, this game's fucking with me. Just consistently fucking with me.
I mean,
Like the whole memory card thing.
yeah, I was gonna say that the sanity that messing with the fourth wall and the message outside of the game system itself messes directly with you. That's the kind of scary that like systems games I see rarely, if at all.
Yeah, yeah. So with that being said, anyone else have any other scary things they want to go over? Or shall we move on to the next topic? Can you dig it?
I can move on.
All right. So anyone do anything cool for Halloween? Any parties? Any costumes? Anyone just going to a Halloween party and listening to Thriller for like 30 minutes? The long version where it's got the intro and outro from Vincent Price. Michael Jackson is the Thriller.
There's no Halloween party that any Parsons
Can you dig it?
I am going to listen to nothing but Halloween music on YouTube all day.
See, that's taking it too far, man. All day, that's
Oh,
because you know a lot of it's gonna be the Monster Mash. You know.
Thriller, Monster Mash, Spooky Scary Skeletons, This is Halloween, Ghostbusters,
Yeah.
Bad Moon Rising.
Even though Ghostbusters is more like just a generic song that happens to be about the Ghostbusters. You know.
Season of the Witch.
I'm gonna watch some scary movies. What?
Witchy woman.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch some scary stuff on. I'm gonna watch some scary stuff on TV. On TV. I'll probably wind up watching.
Weird Science.
That's not really a scary movie. That's like.
Song Weird Science.
And that's not even a scary song. Maybe I Put a Spell on You, the original blues version. Uh, Butcher Pete. I don't know.
Of the Night, Somebody Watching Me, Superstition.
Yeah, but that's not even scary. You know, very superstitious, writing on the wall. I mean, it's Stevie Wonder. I mean, Stevie Wonder's songs are just not like. That song has a great. Yeah, that song has a great tempo to it. That song get down to. You can get down to that song. Rockwell, Somebody Watching Me, is kind of fun. I guess the modern Halloween song for our age group is Thriller, though. You know, except you got to listen to the long version with the intro and outro from Vincent Price. That's what you got to. Which I have that album, so I'll probably put that on for when the kiddies come trick or treating. Then I'm going to a Halloween party at like 9:30, and girlfriend and I.
Get Monster Smash.
The girl.
Halloween has less collectible tracks compared to Christmas songs. This makes you have more of them.
Yeah, but Christmas has so many songs. I mean, like depending on which generation of Christmas you like, they have a song for you. They've got Christmas for little kids. They've got Christmas for old people. Or you've got shit like those old carols and shit. Then you've got Christmas for for middle-aged people. So you got like This Christmas and
You got Christmas for nearly every generation.
yeah, you got Christmas for the generation after them, which is like stuff like George Michael. Last Christmas I gave you my heart.
The same thing, but with Halloween.
Then you've got Christmas for our generation, which is like Mariah Carey.
Halloween music for the kids, Halloween music for the adults, for the old people.
Well, back in the day. Like Halloween got big in the 50s and the 60s cuz of television, cuz kids could like wear costumes and shit like that, you know, and get candy. Cuz that was the thing that made Christmas that made Halloween and Christmas such major holidays, cuz you could get all this candy and you know,
Yeah.
and unlike the rest of the year, yeah, unlike the rest of the year where your parents are like, don't eat all that damn candy. Like Halloween's the one time where you just eat as much candy as you wanted and no one's gonna say shit to you about it. You know, like you could be a greedy bastard.
Is your own stomach.
Yeah, but I was lucky. I never got sick at Halloween. Thank God. That's right. I never got sick at Halloween.
Lucky you.
Yeah.
And I found the things I found something I'm gonna be watching all day tomorrow.
What's that?
Mystery Skull series so far.
Mm, that's cool. I'm gonna be watching. I don't know. I might watch some Halloween based movies tomorrow during the day because I'm getting off of work early. Even though they're having a Halloween party at work at each of my locations, we're having a Halloween thing, but it's going the whole weekend. So uh, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's all Halloween all weekend long, like a big Halloween celebration. They're doing trick or treating tomorrow night on the street. So all these different businesses are gonna be giving out candy and shit. And then Friday night is gonna be the Halloween party for the adults. I know that's November 1st, but fuck it. Halloween party for adults November 1st, and we'll be handing out treats for adults. So it's gonna be like Jello shots and booze and delicious things like that.
Very high classified adult.
Yeah.
That probably is how you put it, right?
Yeah, well, adults need treats too. Trick or treat. Here, you want a Jello shot? Want some Jaeger?
I was just about to say, I'm surprised you didn't coin a perverted trick or treat joke of this part.
Want some Jägermeister? No, I don't particularly want Jaeger. Jaeger. I have friends who like drinking that shit. I don't. Um, I don't drink Jaeger. I don't drink. I don't drink Jaeger. I don't drink. I don't know. What do I drink? Yeah, I drink whiskey, bourbon, rum, and gin. That's what I drink. I have a very limited palate when it comes to alcohol. I like what I like, and I like what I like. But as far as scary movies go, I don't know what I'm gonna watch. I don't know. I might watch Ghostbusters 1 and 2. I might watch John Carpenter's The Thing. Um, I have a new horror movie to add to horror movies you might want to watch on Halloween. The Hateful Eight. Because that's a horror movie. Let's see, what else? I don't know. You can watch Creepshow 1 and 2. Those are good.
There's so many choices to pick from.
Yeah, there's a lot of horror movies. You can watch Friday the 13th. Any of them. Except Jason versus Freddy versus Jason. That's not very good.
I was gonna ask, do you count cheesy movies? Because the only one that I'm supposed to watch by some of my friends, at least at my end, Final Destination, and I consider it cheese and corny in a bad way.
Yeah, I don't really like most modern horror movies because they rely too much on jump scares and not enough on actual building up tension and horror. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they, it's like, oh, we played a loud noise on a synthesizer and made the camera jump really quickly. Oh, it's a jump scare. It's like, man, that's not scary. Like, I'm not saying jump scares can't be effective. I'm just saying earn the jump scare. Like John Carpenter's The Thing, the scene where they're all tied to these chairs and tables and couches and shit, and like McCready's testing the blood, and there's a legit jump scare at a certain point. That's earned because they're building the suspension the entire time. It's like he takes the blood and he sticks the hot needle, and he's like, psst. It's like shit. Then he gets another one. Psst. It's like, damn it. And then the third one, he's like, it's your turn now. Psst. And it runs away. It's like shit. Or another jump scare where or this dude has a heart attack, or they think it's a heart attack, and the doctor's like, we're gonna have to use these electric things, and he shocks him once, and then he shocks him another time, and the thing bites his hands off. He's like, ah! And then they burn the body, but the head comes off, and it sprouts legs and runs away. And this one guy's like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I mean, that's earned. That is all earned. Yes, it's fucked up, but it's earned. Or even in the beginning of the movie, where you like see this one dog, like Clark is walking with this dog, and he puts the dog in the kennel, and these other dogs are looking at this one dog, and they're looking at it, and it sits down in the middle of the pen, and they're looking at it, and they start barking at this dog, and the dog starts transforming, the flesh sloughs off of it, the fur, and then it's like the thing starts coming out and starts trying to digest the dogs. It's like, god damn, this is earned horror. But nowadays, no one wants to do that. Everyone wants CGI. We'll just do it with computers after the shot. Sorry, my
You had enough of that.
my because everyone relies on CGI so much. It's like,
It's like, really, you can't build up the horror. You can't bring in the real living flesh. I mean, CGI can do so much, but it can only do so much.
yeah. Well, they did this remake of, they did the prequel to The Thing, right? And apparently people really like that movie. But I mean, some people like that movie. I didn't really, but the big thing about the film is that like they got this special effects studio that had some of the people who made the original the special effects for The Thing to work on it, and then they threw away all their work and just did CGI, and the CGI looks like shit.
That reminds me, there was this indie horror movie made from the same script, with the effects made from the same
I
script.
know it's called like, I want to say like The Void, and that the special effects in that, I mean, the movie's not that good, but the special effects are like, man, that is fucked up, son. I mean, I stand by that. Hollywood needs to stop being so well, they need to stop being so bent on always going with CGI.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, there's only so much CGI can do to make something look realistic.
Because CGI, like I said, is not. CGI can be great for, yeah. Like, I mean, case in point, look at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now, our Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from '89, or was it '90? '89, '90. The one that had the live action suits and the puppets and all that shit. Those turtles look fucking great. And then look at the modern Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles made by Michael Bay that's just CGI. They look like shit. But you go back and you see the old ones, and they still look good. And believe me, I've been to the Museum of American History. You can see the Muppets. You can see Sesame Street puppets. You can see the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle suits and the Splinter suit. All that shit still looks great. All right, it still looks really fucking good. But CGI just doesn't age as well. You know? Now, if you have a good mixture of CGI and practical special effects, it can age really well. Hence why the original Jurassic Park still looks really good.
A world destroyed by nuclear fire.
But, you know.
Spin it well. But remember your discover companions by unlocking the tower's secrets.
But, you know, it is what it is. So, I mean, I guess we can move on to the next topic. Let's go to a free topic. Huh? So, here's the free topic I want to bring up. I've been thinking about this for a while, but I thought I'd bring it up to you guys. Which is better in gaming, to innovate at the cost of not sticking true to what the core to the core essence of the genre may be, or the franchise, or to just keep on iterating on the same thing over and over and over again, refining the formula, if you will, or to have a balance of both.
I want both, but if I was forced to pick, I'd choose what makes you what you are.
Okay. Pinky?
What was the question again?
The question was, is it better in gaming to basically, is it better to essentially innovate at the expense of delineate, going away from what the core of what a genre or franchise may be, or to continuous to create different iterations, continuous iterations of the same genre or franchise, just refining the particular pieces that make up that game or genre to the point where you know, or to have a combination of both. Which is better? One option A, being completely different and try something new. Option B, iterating on the same thing and optimizing and making the core parts, refining them, or a combination of both.
Let's see. That depends. I know that whenever Nintendo does it, they don't treat it like they don't treat them like sequels. They treat them as like different sub-series within the series. Like
Yeah,
how
but unfortunately,
like how Mario 64, Sunshine, Galaxy are all completely different, and only a direct sequel, and only one of the three that got a direct sequel was Mario Galaxy, and Mario Galaxy 2, which remained the same gameplay but more refined.
yeah, but to be fair, there's more than, you know, there's many different video game publishers and developers in the industry. It's not just Nintendo. So there are other examples that could be used.
Well, they can always innovate, or they can always try to innovate because that's always a good thing. Based on our philosophies.
All right. Kanyoshi?
Remind me, what was the question again?
Question was, is it better to innovate at the cost of making a game? Is it better to innovate in a franchise or genre at the cost of stepping away from what the core of what that franchise or genre is? Or is it better to just refine the game, like do the same iteration, different iterations in the same genre or franchise and just refine the bits and pieces that make up what that genre franchise is, or have a combination of both?
I would say have a combination of both. Really, it just depends on the game and how long it's been around, and how much has actually been tapped out of it. Sometimes like, this series has reached its conclusion because it's had a beginning, middle, and end. So maybe take some of those same concepts and make a different game, either within that universe or within a different universe.
Like Castlevania?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Because Castlevania is a little like, where do you go from there? You know?
Yeah.
Like, really, I mean, I'm going to keep it real. Like, the pinnacle for me of the 2D Castlevania games was kind of like,
Was 1999 back, right?
uh, no, I would say the pinnacle for the 2D Castlevania games was like the Aria of Sorrow, Dawn of Sorrow, Portrait of Ruin. Order of Ecclesia, I never really liked that game that much. I know some people are going to be like, what do you mean? I never liked that game. I never thought it was good. I don't care. You don't like it. I don't care if you don't like it. You cannot like it as much as you want to. I never liked that game. I mean, I'm like, to be fair, I'm not a huge fan of. I think 2D. I think everyone was like, we can't make a 2D Castlevania game, but if you play Darksiders 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, or 3, basically for all intents and purposes, those are 3D Castlevania games. You know?
Yeah.
So it's not that you can't make a 3D Castlevania game. It's just no one had figured out how to translate the formula of what Castlevania is into a 3D space. And no, those shitty Mercury Steam Castlevania games are not Castlevania games. They're fucking trash. And I stand by that statement. And I don't care if no one likes it. You can kiss my ass. People are like, oh no, we can't do that. No, I don't care. I don't like it. Not one bit, sir. I don't like it.
People are not particularly thrilled about this games, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like Mercury Steam like kind of shit the bed on those games. They made 3 of them, and none of them are good in my opinion. Like, if I wanted to play God of War, I'll play God of War. Why would I want to play like?
War and a Castlevania.
Yeah, why would you take God of War and mix it into Castlevania?
Yeah.
Like, I don't like that, you know? Like, I don't want, you know. Like, I mean, then again, I'm kind of a traditionalist when it comes to Castlevania. I like my Castlevania straightforward. Typically speaking, like, if you're gonna give me a 2D what?
Dracula? Do you like Castlevania?
Yeah, I want to fight my
You
way.
rescue Akira Sam.
Yeah, I want to.
Right to the feet.
Yeah, I want to fight my way through a certain amount of levels. I want to get to a certain point, and then I want to, level up. That's all I want. I don't. I mean, I want to fight my way through an area, get to a boss, collect the orb, move on to the next area. Like, I like. Like, unless you're going to do something substantially different but stay true to the core of what Castlevania is, or expand upon it but still the DNA is there, like they did with Darksiders, which is why, to me, Darksiders is the evolution of what Castlevania should have been in the 3D space. And I know people are going to say, well, it's like God of War. Yeah, but Darksiders really, especially the first Darksiders, while you have this dude bro main character, as that's kind of like Kratos. And he doesn't yell nearly as much. Well, he does yell a lot, but he actually it makes sense that he's this big, huge, badass dude because he's one of the four horsemen. He's war. He's literally his job is to kill shit and murder the shit out of motherfuckers. That's what he does. He's good at it. You know, the game opens with him coming to the apocalypse and realizing something's wrong because his other siblings aren't there, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And then he's like, the dude who kills him, he's about to fuck this dude up until the horns are blown, which sap his power. And then he gets wiped out. He's like, man, I was gonna fuck that dude up. But he gets his revenge in the game. I actually like it. But yeah, Darksiders is one of those games that's surprisingly good.
And it's also kind of a Zelda clone too.
The first one was a Zelda clone. The second one was kind of like had loot like Diablo in it. The third one is neither. The third one feels more like they were trying to go back to the first one, but the first one was still a better game on a technical level than the third one. And hopefully this next Darksiders game, Darksiders Genesis, which you play as Strife the Gunner, the guy who you keep on wind up getting his guns, but you never actually get to see him. Like, dude, you keep on losing your guns, man. What the fuck's up with this? Hey, man, it's a gun. What can I say? Shit happens. I'm not gonna lie though, they had a cinematic trailer for the game where he comes into this demon citadel. And he's like, well, you're gonna have to. I'm coming here to kill you because you're disturbing the balance between good and evil, and you've been working with Satan. He's like, really, I'm gonna give you to the count of 3 to get the hell out of here, or you're leaving in pieces. And he's like, you come in here alone. I'm gonna give you till the count of 3 to get the hell out of here. Yeah. And then he proceeds to shoot all 3 of the dude's heads, and then his brother War comes in, and you know when War comes in, shit's about to get real, son, because War likes to fight. That's his thing. Death is more dangerous, but War likes to fight.
And pray to heaven that you are not in warpath.
Yeah, nice pun there. nice use of the space. So yeah, that's my thing. So anything else before we move on to the last topic?
No.
All right.
I was about to ask, what is the last topic?
The last topic is the one that's really going to well, it's the last topic. Last topic is, do you have any scary games to recommend? And when I say scary, I don't mean just like, oh, it's got a dark, creepy thing. I mean, legitimately, it's atmospheric. You get into it. It's fun. Yeah.
If you're looking for a game for purely atmosphere, I didn't particularly like these games, but I did like the atmosphere. The Metro Exodus game.
Yeah, I know some people really love those games.
Or the Metro games.
No, I know a lot of people like that game.
More behind it too, but I just didn't really like. The mechanics.
Well, the games aren't fun to me. Like, the whole point of a game is that you're basically gonna level up and feel really badass as time goes on. There is nothing badass or fun about playing Metro Last Exit. Like, if you get in a gunfight in those games, there's a chance you probably won't come out alive. And I don't mean in like, man, it's like it was a tough fight. I mean literally like your guns do no fucking damage. Like you pump round after round into some enemies and it doesn't do shit. You're like, God damn, I shot this motherfucker 16 times and it's still coming at me. What the fuck, dude?
And the gun also,
Yeah, it
the gun,
depends on
you can't,
running.
you have to be careful about how many bullets you use because the bullets are also currency.
Yeah, it's
So
fucked
you
up.
gotta wear a gas mask when you go in certain places because you might die of radiation poisoning.
Like a gas mask is gonna protect you from radiation point. Oh, well, never mind. That's whatever.
Game logic.
Yeah, it's game logic. Yeah. I would say the entire Metroid Prime trilogy, pretty damn creepy. I think Metroid Prime 2 Echoes kind of cheats out because it has zombies in it. I know they're like, well, they're corpses possessed by the Ing, but they're zombies. That's a little cheap. I think Metroid Prime Corruption has the best. Like the first Metroid Prime, while it is a storied game and people love it, is too much of a almost direct iteration, a reiteration of Super Metroid to me. So I don't enjoy that as much as. And plus, it gets ridiculous the amount of shit you have to collect in that game. It's like every weapon has ammo, and it's like fuck. I gotta collect ammo for all these fucking weapons. It's ridiculous, man. Um, like, can't you streamline this shit? Metroid Prime Echoes kind of streamlined it a bit, where you just had dark and light ammo, which was nice. Um, and then you had Metroid Prime Corruption, where you only had to collect like missiles, hyper missiles, bombs, and you could go into phazon mode, like your phazon, your PED mode, and just go to town on motherfuckers. It's like fuck you at the cost of health. Like that's it's like I give up a sub tank and then I can go invincible for like 30 seconds and just wipe motherfuckers out. Sure, why not? Even though I've played that game on my own self-imposed difficulty where I'll play the game on the hardest mode and I won't use the PED if it's not story enabled, like you have to do it. Like at the end of the game you have to be in PED mode while facing that Aurora unit, that corrupted Aurora unit and Dark Samus. Mother Brain 1.0. As I like to call it. It's Mother Brain. No, not Mother Brain. But yeah. Oh, and another thing, I know some people like Metroid Other M. That game is trash. That's all I'm gonna say. So, let's see. Anyone have any other games they wanna pimp out as scary, legitimately scary? Like, yeah, that kind of fucked up, man. I wasn't anticipating that.
Besides the thinking I'm not a horror fan, personally, so I can understand it at least. And where's the topic?
All right. So, anything you guys want to pimp out before we wrap things up?
Anything for us to pimp out before we wrap things up?
Yeah, that's what I was asking. Anyone have anything they want to pimp out? Anything they're like, well, I'm writing a story on this or whatever.
Let's see. Aside from that Sony link that I posted, which I bet it'll be saved for Saturday's podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
What's going on with Sony?
They posted their financials and they claim that they outsold the Wii in terms of the amount of PS4s they sold. Now, the only reason I don't believe their numbers is because Sony is notorious um, for misrepresenting their numbers. And also, I don't like. Here's the thing: these numbers haven't been independently verified. Like they're coming from Sony directly, and so I don't really like. I'm not gonna trust numbers from a company that's been known to misrepresent the numbers on paper to their investors. Um,
I'm not. I don't find this stuff offensive because, again, I don't. I don't have stock in Nintendo or Sony, so it's not like they're
well,
paying me any money.
I
The,
don't.
pro- the problem I have is that it's definitely possible, but again, they have like 3 different SKUs to their console. They
Well,
have 3 different versions of their freaking console.
well, I mean, it's not just that. The only reason I say is because, like I said, okay, if you have okay, look, if like okay, you know how Microsoft stopped reporting the sales numbers of the Xbox One because the Xbox One has been selling fucking abysmally, right? And I'm like, like I don't think the PS4 is selling as well as Sony wants it to. Okay, I really don't because if it was selling all that well, why would they be coming out with a PS5? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry. Like and thirdly, like these numbers, like I don't own Sony stock. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I do own a little bit of Nintendo stock, but not enough for me to be like, you know, to have not yeah, I'm not worried about Nintendo. The company's been around for over 100 years. They'll be fine. But as far as Sony, like they've been known and reprimanded for fudging their for not fudging for misrepresenting numbers or giving numbers that were you know a little bit biased in order to make them seem more attractive on paper. Now, a lot of companies do that. Disney has been doing that lately. They overvalued how well Star Wars was doing. They overvalued how well what was the other company? The Muppet Studios was doing. Like companies do this all the time. The problem is that like Sony has been doing this a lot. And so I don't really trust their numbers because they haven't been independently verified. Now, if they're independently verified, I'll give them that win. But until it's independently verified and not from an unbiased source, I'm not trusting a word they fucking say. Well, it's like someone said. It's like okay, basically, Sony right now is like a company that is like okay. You go into a business, you see that they don't have a lot of customers. You see that they have a full staff. The staff has all the amenities. They have top of the line everything, but they don't have a lot of customers. They aren't catering a lot of shit. And you're like, how are these people turning a profit? And you look at their books. They're like, yeah, we're in the black. That doesn't make sense. These numbers don't add up. There's something shady going on. So I don't trust Sony's numbers. Don't trust them. Do I think that they may have shipped 102 PS4s? Yes. Do I think all 102 of those PS4s are in people's houses? No. I think maybe they're sitting on I think maybe there's like 85, 90 million PS4s out there. And that's respectable. There's nothing bad about that. But I don't, I don't see it. But that's just me. So, I'm not gonna draw that into I'm not gonna make that into a big news story because I don't, like, it's not from an unbiased source. Like, there's no independent verification from someone who doesn't have a dog in the fight saying, yeah, this is true. And considering that Sony, like I said, has misrepresented numbers before, I'm not gonna trust them now. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get involved in these fanboy wars about who sells the most consoles
and
or whatever.
if it really sold that much, wouldn't Sony be the first people up there crowing, we sold over 100 million of this shit, like they did with the PS4 or the PS3? Remember they had that big announcement and everything. So I mean, I don't trust it. Like I don't. And I'm angry at YouTubers and other video game sites, like even Nintendo sites talking about this shit. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't own a PS4. Okay, they sold 100. Okay, fine then. Okay, we'll give it to them. They sold 102 million units. Are there any good games for the system that also aren't on PlayStation? I mean, that also aren't on PC or Xbox or now on the Switch?
I just have a hard time believing that for marry out of different reasons. I know at the beginning of this life cycle, even during the whole PS4 and Xbox One coming out, there was a lot of people who switched to PC for one thing. And, and again, they have 3 SKUs to their console. So, where there was only one version of the Wii, at least for a pretty long time.
Yeah, for like 4 years of that thing's life cycle, there was only one version. Yeah, you had different colors, but there was the same shit. So, I mean, it's like, I just don't trust, I don't trust Sony because they lie so much. Like, why would I trust you now? Like, what have you done to make you trustworthy? To me, not a damn thing. So I know some people are going to get mad when I say that because they're going to say, you're a Sony hater. No, look, listen. I want every console to do well. All right? I want Sony to do well. I want Microsoft to do well. I want Nintendo to do well. Not because I particularly like their consoles, but because when every console does well, that means you get good games on all systems. Whereas this generation...
I want competition that does fair and equal gaming, as in no sniping, and basically you work on your exclusives to try to draw in your customers.
Yeah, but we haven't gotten shit from we haven't I was gonna say we haven't gotten shit from like, I mean, okay, look, like the big game that the Sony fanboys were saying, oh man, this game's gonna be awesome, this game, it's gonna show the power of the PS4. And I remember when this shit was announced, it's like, yeah, they're not showing, because I was like, all those games that they could have shown at E3, the E3 that they didn't show up with, those games are being ported over to the next system. Everyone's like, oh no. They're like, we didn't hear anything about Death Stranding. That game's going to be on PC. And it's going to be ported to the PS5. Oh, no. And then, look, it's coming to PC, and it's probably going to come to the PS5. Like, shit. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get people with all this bullshit. But that's just me. Oh, great, man. I can get games, free games from Twitch Prime. Yay. Shit, I already got what's it called? What did I get? I got that's how I got my Nintendo Online, because I wasn't paying for that shit. I was like, I'm not paying for this, but I'll damn sure take it if I already got it with Twitch Prime. I'm cheap. I don't mind. Look, people who have money, you want to know how they have money? Because they're cheap.
If you see value, please have the balls to be up front.
No.
Yeah, I see value. So I take up front.
No. I am not gonna pay full price if I don't have to.
If you don't have to pay full price, why should you?
Why? Like, I don't, that's like going to the movies, right? And like, okay, you're going to go see a movie at a movie theater, okay? Like, there's 2 movie theaters, and both of them are showing the same film. Both of them are showing the film in a standardized format. It's not special. There's not better sound. There's not better graphics. Same basic thing. But one theater you're paying $6.50 for. The other one is $15. And you brag about paying $15 for the shit. You're stupid. Why would you brag about getting fucked over? It's like I'm only gonna pay $6.50 for the same experience. Insane. Hell, I got it for free. Well, not for free because I get Amazon Prime, but that's $120 a year. I don't mind paying that. But because I get so much other shit, free shipping and handling, and plus they're gonna come out with some cool shit for November. So this Friday they're coming out with free games. I don't know what they're gonna have Darksiders 2, the definitive edition, but I already have that game, so not gonna really. Planet Alpha, I heard that's good. Sword Legacy Omen, and Turmoil, and Double Cross, which I already have.
Double Cross?
Yeah, Double Cross. It's a 2D platformer where you basically can slow down time and you can jump. The whole point behind Double Cross is that you basically it's a play on words because the game takes place in this world where essentially your character can like where there's these different multiverses where you can meet basically alternate versions of yourself. So, and you meet your double, like you cross with your double, hence the name Double Cross. It's cute. The game is the game is a standard, platformer. It's not, great, but gets the job done. I like it. I mean, it's not the best game ever, but so yeah. I mean, like I said, man, not every game needs to be perfect, but
It has to be functional.
yeah. I mean, especially with like the thing about is that the platforming isn't great in the game, but because your jumps are a little floaty, but they kind of make up for it because other aspects of the game are really good. So, it's one of those things. I mean, I will say this much: the platforming is better than, say, Little Big Planet's platforming, which is just shit. Like the only reason people like that game is because of the character, is because the level creator, not because it has good platforming. Because as a platformer, it's shit. Yeah, they have Wolfenstein Youngblood in Twitch Prime, but I'm not getting it because it's from Bethesda, and fuck Bethesda. Fuck that company. Like, that shit was so bad, I don't even feel like like Bethesda's games are so bad, I don't even feel like I might not even get the next Elder Scrolls game.
What about that new space game
Oh, you mean the new space game they're making, allegedly?
Yeah.
I don't know. It might be good, it might not be good. I don't. Like, here's the thing, okay? With what Bethesda's been doing with Fallout 76 and Elder Scrolls Blades with all those fucking microtransactions and shit.
Might be best to keep away from Bethesda stuff.
Yeah, I don't trust them. I don't trust them. I don't, I mean, see, the problem with a lot of gamers is that they will let someone fuck them over so much, you know? And I don't like that, you know? I know some people are going to get mad when they hear that. They're like, how can you not like, you know, insert thing here, but I don't like that shit. You know, I don't like people insulting me like that. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it, sir. I know some people are going to get mad when they say that, but I don't care if they don't like it. So we're almost at the end of the podcast. Anyone have anything they want to pimp out before we wrap things up, aside from us talking about how shitty certain companies are?
Well, I do want to pimp out my new article from Video Game Editorials.
Okay.
I'll post it on in the chat soon enough. It's about why the Castlevania arcade game Haunted Castle should be canon to the timeline.
Okay.
It's for I had to get it posted before November starts.
All right. All right. Kenoshi, you got anything you want to pimp out?
No, not really.
So with that being said, I think you can close this out, right?
All right.
Fighter Z is still a decent fighting game.
All right. This is Mr. Red Fox, owner proprietor BS Busters, signing out. Rate, comment, share, subscribe. I have 2 videos coming out sometime this week or weekend. I'll be talking about well, the first I'm going to drop is this Friday, and it's going to be talking about how the Outer Worlds is Leonard Boyarsky's and Tim, I forgot the guy's name. Basically, it's the original creators of Fallout's a metaphorical dick slap to Bethesda in the face about what they did to Fallout with a game that's, you know, not really a Fallout successor. It's the evolution of what they were doing way back in the day when they first started making RPGs. Way back in the day when, you know, with Interplay, that type of thing. I also have my full review of the Outer Worlds coming sometime this weekend, possibly the same day as my video, so look forward to that. And of course, standard, we'll have our BS Busters newscast this Saturday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Look forward to that. Remember, rate, comment, share, subscribe. Peace, good night, and deuces. And fuck EA, Activision, Bethesda, who else? Nintendo's mobile gaming division. lot of fucks given. Okay, good night.